California.
I'm Omar Reese with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Cowboys pass rusher Micah Parsons is still waiting on a new deal, while Brown star Myles Garrett reset the market for defensive players earlier this offseason with a $40 million per year contract. Garrett recently telling reporters that Parsons is 100% committed to his craft and deserves every penny he's owed. Parsons saying recently he's hopeful that a deal could be finalized by training camp. Elsewhere, 49ers tight end George Kittle also met a new benchmark at his position, signing a 4-year, $76 million extension. Kittle saying on the Dan Patrick Show that tight ends deserve more respect financially, adding, quote, I want guys to get paid. And in Carolina, running back Chuba Hubbard says the Panthers are tired of their losing ways. They've missed the playoffs every season since 2018 and are just 19-49 since drafting Hubbard in 2021. But he told the Charlotte Observer that the team is building the right chemistry and a winning culture. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Chuck McDowell here again. Over the years, I've seen way too many timeshare exit companies pop up, take folks' money, and disappear. I just saw an ad from an exit company started by a couple of bozos that used to work for me. My advice, don't hire bozos out there. When out of your timeshare, I'll send you our free timeshare exit info kit explaining your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free kit. 800-761-0000. 800-761-0000. Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere. From dust mites, head dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike you anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed. Sponsored by Armstrong Pharmaceuticals.
Well, happy Tuesday to you. Yeah, Tuesday. That means we survived a Monday. Not sure how. It is the 17th day of June, 2025. I'm Carroll in the newsroom, Jared Anchondo. Good morning, Jared.
Good morning, Carroll.
These mornings are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Opened the back door, and our backyard mockingbird was regaling us with song. And, it just kind of makes your morning a little bit brighter.
Yeah, it was probably sweating, though. That was the only thing.
No, not yet this morning.
What? I think you've been in a little early. I just went out, and it was humid right now.
A little bit
that's
more.
How I haven't felt this humidity yet this summer. This is the first day where I was like, woo, it's humid. It's sticky.
Okay. Well, we'll touch on that when we get to the weather a little bit later. But all things considered, hey, we can handle this. We
can handle it.
Okay. New survey out. It says 20% women in their 40s will describe themselves as very happy. However, only 1% of women in their 40s would describe themselves as a woman in her 40s. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Never respond when a woman asks you, well, how old do you think I am? Yeah, don't go there.
I just say early 20s.
Yeah.
You're early 20s.
Yeah. Are you old enough to drink? Okay.
Yeah, they'll start blushing. If they're over 30 and you say, you look like you're in your early 20s, that's you're a ringer.
Yeah. You just kind of let that float. Well, let's see. What else is happening? Well, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports Harley-Davidson has recalled more than 82,000 motorcycles due to an issue that increases the possibility of a crash. That's really sad. Yeah, when you think about it, Jared, this morning, 82,000 aging baby boomers have no transportation.
Aww.
Yeah. You hit that midlife crisis and pick up the Harley, right?
Hey, I like Harleys.
Yeah.
I like Harleys. Well, yeah, I can see that. I guess it gets you something to work on,
Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose. I have no issue with motorcycles and rode one for years, but not on the street. Too many people don't see you, when you're riding a motorcycle.
You rode them out in the dirt, didn't you?
I certainly did.
Oh, yeah.
I have these scars to prove it. Okay, you want some birthdays?
Birthday time.
Okay. What does this remind you of?
Boom, boom, boom.
That's the theme from Mission Impossible. And one of the TV stars from that show, actor Peter Lupus, is 93. He was the big brawny guy. Okay, he's 93 today. Yes, the Ice Cream Man, singer Barry Manilow, 82. Comedian Joe Piscopo, 74. Actor Mark Lynn Baker, 71. Actor John Grease, 68. Actor Thomas Hayden Church is 65. Actor Greg Kinnear, 62. Actor Cammy Cutler, 60. Actor Jason Patrick is 59. Wasn't he in The Lost Boys? Actor, comedian Will Fort, 55. Actor Arthur Darvill is 43. Actor Jodie Whittaker, 43. Actor Manish Dayal, 42. And Kendrick Lamar, 38. Actor KJ Apa is 28. Local birthdays coming up.
Hello, all you buckaroos. This is Cowboy Bob, star of Stage, Screen, Radar, and Restroom, the working girl's friend. Luke's Casino is the oldest restaurant in downtown Yuma, where the elite meet and locals eat. Luke's Gretna Green Wedding Chapel can coordinate weddings and receptions to accommodate over 150 people. Celebration of life with dignity and affordable. Visit us today at Luke's Casino, 221 Main Street in downtown Yuma.
We have happy birthday wishes for Janice Pritchard, Patricia Zarate, Christopher Milan, Gabby Murgia, Ross Daniels, Emily Navarro, Ivan Beltran, Alexa Horn, Cynthia Rios, Julia Rodriguez, Vincent Flores Jr., John Schaefer, and Gerald Robinson. Happy birthday from KXO. Well, happy birthday, G-Rob, in all the years of high school football. Gerald Robinson is in the top 5 on my list of high school running backs. So, okay. And while we're on the subject of sports, the NHL Stanley Cup Finals continue tonight. Lord Stanley's Cup is up for grabs. And are you aware of the tradition in hockey? Each player on the winning team gets the Stanley Cup for a night. Yeah, it's kind of similar to what happens in the NBA, but instead of a trophy, NBA winners get a Kardashian sister. Ah, yes. Bada boom. We've got news, and we're going to jump in with that. And we're going to start off with a look at World and California news headlines, brought to you this morning by the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District. They deliver real-time updates about the air that we breathe.
CBS News Brief. Iranians are fleeing their capital as Israeli strikes hit the state-run broadcaster and an underground nuclear facility. The BBC's G.R. Goal has been talking to Iranians.
And many people are angry with the government. They say this is not their fight. This is the government war they impose on the country. And so many people are angry with the economic situation, with inflation.
In Israel, air raid sirens in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, warning of incoming missiles ahead of Iranian strikes on day number 5 of the conflict. Retail sales fell a worse than expected 0.9% last month as consumers pulled back on spending ahead of new tariffs. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
People seem to be buying a lot of cars in March and stayed away from some of the car dealerships in May, worried that higher prices were already in place.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
The Imperial County Air Pollution Control District delivers real-time information about the quality of the air you breathe. Visit the website at apcd.imperialcounty.org to stay informed about air quality around the valley. The website also includes information for upcoming meetings, programs, and there's access to the dust cams set up around the valley. Visit apcd.imperialcounty.org today.
California headline news. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals is hearing arguments over President Trump's federalizing of the California National Guard and deploying it to L.A. amid protests over immigration operations. Governor Newsom insisting that Trump's actions were illegal. He and other Democratic leaders blame the unrest on the president's deployment of the troops. The curfew hours for a 1 square mile section of downtown L.A. now being reduced to 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. This man owns a business in Little Tokyo, says it's been rough.
You look around and you see everything boarded up. You see tagging everywhere.
The curfew put in place after anti-ICE protests in the area turned violent. Several businesses were looted. Another case of measles identified in Northern California involving a child who recently traveled internationally.
Measles is a very serious and highly contagious disease.
Sacramento County Public Health Officer Dr. Olivia Casrieri says that the child received treatment at Mercy San Juan Medical Center in Carmichael on June 10th. I'm John Gilliland, and you're listening to California Headline News.
World in California news headlines brought to you this morning by the Imperial County Air Pollution Control District. Log on to imperialvalleyair.org. You'll get real-time information about the air that we breathe.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's local news, and it is a service of El Centro Motors. El Centro Motors Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers have 3 locations in the valley: at El Centro Motors, in the Brawley Auto Center, Highway 86 and Joliet Drive, and at the Imperial Valley Mall.
KXO News. Accident ends in arrest. A traffic accident late Sunday evening ended up with one person in jail. Here's George Gale.
The accident occurred at 10 p.m. Sunday on Highway 86 near Avalon Drive. 2 vehicles were involved. Both of them ended up in the center divider of the highway. 2 individuals received minor injuries after an investigation by the California Highway Patrol. 1 person was booked for driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
Shots fired at aircraft. Yuma County Sheriff's Office deputies were on a routine helicopter patrol when the aircraft was shot. The incident occurred at about 7:05 a.m. Friday, June 13th in Dateland. During the flight, deputies heard a impact sound in the YCSO Bell 505 helicopter. The located debris was, they found debris inside the cabin. Deputies saw a subject standing on the ground and pointing at the helicopter. The deputies returned to the hangar and were able to locate a puncture consistent with a gunshot. The Yuma County Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigations Bureau investigated and identified a suspect, Mubarak Prince, 51 years old, of Dateland, Arizona. The YCSO Special Response Team, along with the Yuma Police Department Special Enforcement Team, U.S. Border Patrol BORTAC Team, and Cocopah Police Department, served a search warrant on the suspect's property. Prince was arrested and booked into Yuma County Detention Center on 3 counts of first-degree attempted murder. KXO Local News Time, 7:42.
Here's an idea. When your vehicle is just sitting there, whether it's at work or at home, and it needs service, let our mobile service come to you. Hey, this is Lauren at El Centro Motors. You know, whether it's batteries or brakes or tire rotation or an oil change or pretty much any need that your vehicle has, let us come to you. By utilizing our mobile service, it's easy. Just give us a phone call. We'll get your appointment set. Or if you prefer, you can visit us at one of our 3 conveniently located quick lanes for any and all of your service needs.
City of El Centro to hold a public hearing. Here's George Gale with details.
It will be held this evening. A hearing is to discuss a proposed rate increase for solid waste services. Public hearing will be held at 6 p.m. this evening at the El Centro City Hall. Proposed increase of 2.3% is on the table for both residential and commercial collection services. If approved, the increase would go into effect July 1st. According to the revised franchise agreement, CR&R can request an annual increase up to 4% through July 1st, 2023. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
Congressman working with growers, Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz has met with growers, and the congressman said he wanted to hear firsthand from the Imperial Valley growers. He wanted to hear about the most pressing challenges facing the local agriculture industry. The congressman said farming is still the backbone of this region's economy and plays a critical role in feeding the nation. Ruiz said one of the major concerns discussed was the closure of Spreckles Sugar Incorporated in Brawley. He said the shutdown represents a devastating blow to the communities, threatening hundreds of good-paying jobs and millions of dollars in local economic activity. The congressman said he will continue to advocate at the federal level against the closure of Spreckles and works towards a solution that protects the workers, supports the local farmers, and secures the long-term strength for the Imperial Valley. He has mailed out surveys asking locals how they feel about the closure of Spreckles and how that will affect the Imperial Valley's local economy. That's it for page 1 of local news. Page 2 and the weather coming up next.
Page 1 of the local news, the service of Quick Lane Tire and Auto Centers. How about the works? Before you head out on the road, head into Quick Lane and tell them, I want the works. $59.95 after a $20 mail-in rebate from Ford. Quick Lane, they service all makes and all models, and you never need an appointment.
Milo's Rewards Week is coming, and it's kind of a big deal. Members, get ready for 7 days of up to 40% off store-wide on hundreds of items. Save on the top brands in bath, tools, paint, and more. Our biggest member deals are on January 30th through February 5th. So if you're not a loyalty member, now's the time to join for free. Lowe's knows home improvement. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
Is your everyday congestion preventing you from enjoying life's big moments? Try Vicks Sinex Saline today and get yourself back in the action. Vicks Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion with a gentle ultrafine mist. Sinex Saline's drug-free, no-mess formula instantly moisturizes and soothes dry, irritated nasal passages for quick and effective relief. Get back to enjoying life's big moments to the fullest without having to worry about everyday congestion holding you back. Just Sinex, breathe, use as directed.
Local news, page 2, and a side of weather brought to you by Burgers and Beer, serving the best burgers in town. They have daily lunch specials Monday through Friday, every day. Happy hour from 3 till 6 p.m.
County supervisors. Well, here's George Gale.
They are meeting today. A board will spend most of the morning session in closed session. Afternoon session begins at 1 p.m. On the action agenda, the supervisors will discuss an agreement to monitor groundwater at the county solid waste sites. There will be a legislative update. Assistant Executive Officer Rebecca Terrazas Baxter will discuss several budget issues, and the board will receive a status report on the County of Imperial's classification and compensation study. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
Brawley City Council meets today. The meeting will begin with a closed session that will include a conference with legal counsel concerning anticipated exposure to litigation. Another closed session agenda item concerns the possible appointment of a city manager. Regular business during open session includes the potential approval to renew the operational agreement between the Brawley Police Department and the Imperial County District Attorney's Office Victim Witness Assistance Program. The meeting will be held in the City Council chambers in Brawley beginning at 5:30 p.m. And the IID board will be meeting Here's George Gale.
The Board of Directors meet this afternoon. Meeting begins with presentations. They include a water safety campaign summer activity grants. The IID has set aside $40,000 to be split for various activities in different communities throughout the summer. They will award the 2025 IID college scholarships, and they will introduce the Team of the Month for June. A board will consider a resolution nominating Director Pacheco for Aqua Region 9. They will be asked to approve the annual Salton Sea Air Quality Mitigation Program reports. And the meeting begins at 1 p.m. Conant Auditorium on Broadway in El Centro. For KXO Local News, I'm George Gale.
Salton Sea Authority Board of Directors will have a meeting. It was set for Thursday, June 19th, but that's Juneteenth, and that is a holiday, and that meeting was canceled. A special meeting will be held Friday, June 20th. It'll begin at 10:30 a.m. in the County Board of Supervisors Chamber in the County Administration Center at Main Street in El Centro. You can also attend via Zoom, or you can attend in person. KXO Local News Time, almost 7:49. We'll take a look at weather next.
Hungry for the best burger in town or an ice-cold beer? Did you know that Burgers & Beer has happy hour every day from 3 to 6? Get drink specials all day like Margarita Monday, Tonic Tuesday, Wine Down Wednesday, and Thirsty Thursday. Our June drink specials include White Claw Mango Mule and White Claw Pineapple Mule and Kona Big Waves for only $4.50. Don't miss our June plate special, the Southwest Carne Asada Burrito. Burgers & Beer, proudly serving you, your family, and friends since 1985. Open daily starting at 9. Burgers & Beer, for the best burger in town.
The National Weather Service says hot and dry weather is forecast throughout the entire week, with the hottest day expected to be Thursday. Extreme heat warnings have been issued or extended throughout the work week across the Imperial and Yuma valleys. 115 the high yesterday, 72 our overnight low. Today will be sunny and hot with a high near 113. West-southwest wind about 5 miles an hour, becoming north-northwest this afternoon. Clear tonight with a low around 76. West wind 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south-southeast after midnight. Wednesday, sunny and hot with a high near 113. Light wind becoming south-southeast about 5 miles an hour in the afternoon. 82 degrees, 51% our relative humidity. Wind out of the southeast at 325 miles an hour. Air quality is good in Westmorland. It is moderate everywhere else in the valley. Local news, page 2, brought to you by Burgers & Beer. It's the place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Bring the family, meet your friends at Burgers & Beer.
Hey, are you looking to upgrade the inside of your home? Maybe new countertops or cabinets, maybe a backsplash in the kitchen? Then call Gordon's Carpet One Floor and More for a free estimate. Yes, they offer more than just flooring. Stop by and see their beautiful showroom with all the latest. And right now, the biggest hit in flooring, LVP waterproof vinyl floors. It's so easy, just click and install. Gordon's Carpet One Floor and More. Call 760-352-3010. That's 352-3010. Or stop by 945 North Imperial Avenue in El Centro.
It's sports time, brought to you by the newly formed Imperial Valley Healthcare District, combining 2 hospitals to better serve you. NBA action last night. Thunder topped the Pacers 120-109. Oklahoma City now leads the best-of-7 series 3-2. They will meet Thursday, Juneteenth, the Thunder and the Pacers. Again, Thursday. Will that be the final? NHL action. Stanley Cup playoff action resumes this evening. The Oilers and the Panthers. Florida Panthers lead the quest for Lord Stanley's Cup 3-2. And in the WNBA, no action last night, but plenty of action scheduled for this evening. We'll take a look at Major League Baseball coming up.
Big changes are happening in Imperial Valley. The newly formed Imperial Valley Healthcare District is paving the way for a healthier future. By uniting El Centro Regional Medical Center and Pioneers Memorial Hospital, we're creating a stronger, more connected healthcare system, one that's built to serve you. Together, we're expanding services, strengthening care, and building a sustainable future for all residents of Imperial Valley. The Imperial Valley Healthcare District. Stronger together, healthier tomorrow.
Major League Baseball, Shohei Ohtani pitched the first inning as the opener for the Dodgers. He touched 100 miles an hour with his fastball, but gave up a couple of hits and a run. And the Dodgers prevailed. Dodgers came back with a big inning and beat the Padres 6-3. Elsewhere, the Athletics topped the Astros 3-1. Red Sox shut out the Mariners 2-0. Rays ripped the Orioles 7-1. Angels over the Yankees 1-0. It went 11 innings. Rockies rolled over the Nationals 6-4, and the Phillies beat the Marlins 5-2. Let's take a trip to Omaha. Hey, when we go to Omaha, we'll visit my daughter Amy, her husband Tim, and the grandkids. Anyway, Arkansas's Gage Wood pitched the third no-hitter in Men's College World Series history, the first in 65 years. He struck out a record 19, and Murray State never came close to getting a hit in the Razorbacks' 3-0 victory. Wood joined Jim Erler of Texas in 1950 and Jim Wixon of Oklahoma State in 1960 as the only pitchers to throw College World Series no-hitters. And top Boston Red Sox officials said the team traded Rafael Devers to the San Francisco Giants because they could not find alignment with their star slugger. That's it for Sports Time. Sports Time brought to you by the newly formed Imperial Valley Healthcare District, stronger together and paving the way to a healthier future. KXO AM 1230 presents Let Freedom Ring.
Today is the 4th of July. It's the 4th of July.
Celebrate Independence Day with 6 hours of music, stories, history, and special features. Let Freedom Ring on AM 1230, Thursday, July 3rd from 6 p.m. till midnight. And again on Friday, the 4th of July, from noon till 6 p.m. Let Freedom Ring is made possible by these fine sponsors.
Century 21 Action Group in Yuma, Intercare, and H&R Block Income Tax Service.
Happy birthday, America.
Happy 4th of July. Let Freedom Ring. Celebrate with us.
Happy 4th of July.
It's America's birthday. Financial news and a brief look at the weather brought to you by Southwest Security and Southwest Postal Service, the only postal box service that offers 24-hour-a-day, 365 days a year service. Southwest Postal at 4th and Heil in El Centro. Americans are feeling a hangover from their tariff-fueled buying frenzy early in the spring. Retail sales fell by 0.9% in May from the prior month, according to the Commerce Department, down sharply from April's downwardly revised 1.1% decline. That was the steepest monthly decline since January and worse than what had been predicted. The figures are adjusted for seasonal swings, but not inflation. The drop was mostly due to plummeting car sales. Excluding those purchases, retail sales were down a more modest 0.3%. Early in the spring, Americans rushed to front-load purchases of big-ticket items, especially cars, to beat President Donald Trump's stiff tariffs. That sent retail sales surging in March, but spending has downshifted markedly since then. Well, Duracell has filed a lawsuit against Energizer, accusing the rival battery maker of running a deceptive advertising campaign. In a complaint filed in federal court in Manhattan, Duracell, which is owned by Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, alleged that Energizer's new ad campaign falsely states that its Energizer Max batteries outlast Duracell Power Boost batteries by 10%. The ad claims have caused Duracell to suffer irreparable reputational harm, including the tarnishing of its brand and loss of goodwill, according to Duracell in their complaint. Taking a look at what's shaking on Wall Street, well, the Dow, the S&P 500, and NASDAQ are slightly lower as the Israel-Iran war continues. Right now, the Dow off 92 points at 42,423. S&P 500 off 21 points at 6,011. The NASDAQ is off 89 points at 19,614. Gold has dropped $23.10 an ounce, and oil up $2.10 a barrel. Lennar Home Builder says home prices are due to drop to a 5-year low, but prices still too high.
Southwest Security has been protecting properties 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, right here in the Imperial Valley and Coachella Valley. The mission has always been to protect your property, whether it's your home, business, or construction site. Your satisfaction is their number 1 priority. Make that phone call today to protect your property by calling Southwest Security at 760-970-4500. That's 760-970-4500. And don't forget about Southwest Postal, your one-stop shipping center. Plus, they offer you 24-hour mailbox rental located at the corner of Heil and 4th Street in El Centro.
It's going to be sunny and hot today with a high near 113. West-southwest wind about 5 miles an hour, becoming north-northwest in the afternoon. Clear tonight with a low around 76. West wind 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming south-southeast after midnight. Wednesday, sunny and hot with a high near 113. Light winds becoming south-southeast about 5 miles an hour in the afternoon. 83 degrees, 53% relative humidity, wind out of the southeast at 325. Financial news and the weather brought to you by Southwest Security, a locally owned company protecting you, your home, your business, your construction site. They do it 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
KXO El Centro on AM 1230. KXO.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by T-Mobile Business Advantage.
I'm Steve Kathan. President Trump is keeping up the pressure on Iran as Israel blasts away at targets throughout the country. White House correspondent Natalie Brand.
He said what he wants is a, quote, real end to the nuclear program in Iran, an end to all enrichment activities. That is a message that has come from the president and from this administration in recent weeks. The question is, how is that achieved in light of this new conflict?
The UN's nuclear watchdog says it believes Israeli airstrikes on Iran's Natanz enrichment site have had direct impacts on the facility's underground centrifuge. People are flooding out of Tehran and other cities in Iran. CBS's Robert Berger in Jerusalem.
We're hearing from Israeli officials that this war could last 2 or 3 weeks. Israel's making a lot of progress attacking targets in Iran. These missile attacks from Iran are going to continue on Israel. The hope is that as Israel takes out these missile launchers inside Iran, that these ballistic missile attacks from Iran will diminish.
An appeals court hears arguments today about President Trump's deployment of the National Guard to Los Angeles in response to anti-ICE protests. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
The court will be looking at the part of the statute that requires that orders be issued through the governor, whether or not that was satisfied, or if there was a problem with how the Trump administration actually issued these orders.
A doctor charged with giving Matthew Perry ketamine in the month leading up to the actor's overdose death has agreed to plead guilty. Federal prosecutors say the plea carries a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison. CBS News legal contributor Caroline Polisi.
The sentencing guidelines don't take kindly to people in positions of power that abuse that position of power.
There could be more weather trouble for parts of West Virginia after a deadly and destructive weekend. CBS's Jim Crisula.
The flooding has left at least 6 people dead, including a toddler. An apartment building collapsed as floodwaters swamped Fairmont, West Virginia. Van Clark was among those in the building at the time.
We were trapped. We were done. I mean, I hate to say it, it's just that simple. We break that window and the water goes
right down below our neck. Then the lady couldn't swim. She's floating on her back, and I'm holding on to her, making sure she doesn't go under.
The entire state of West Virginia and much of Appalachia are under flood watches, with more heavy rain expected.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 88 points. The S&P is down 20. This is CBS News.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. Get the savings you want on America's largest 5G network. Visit T-Mobile.com/choice55 and start saving today.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. It's 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers, plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us, plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
The Florida Panthers can win hockey's Stanley Cup for the second year in a row with a win tonight over the Edmonton Oilers in Game 6 of the final. In the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder are 1 win away from the league championship after a win last night. They've got a 3-2 edge on Indiana. Uninvited guests turning up at a motel in Virginia.
Damn, that is an alligator.
Fairfax County, Virginia police captured the gator on body cam and set the footage to music.
How big is it? Scale 210 alpha. If I lay down next to it, probably about 6 feet.
The footage shows the scaly beast wandering aimlessly outside as frantic guests called for help. The pet alligator had made a break from its owner at a roadside rest stop on the drive from New York to a zoo in North Carolina. As per local law, the two got a police escort out of Fairfax County. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
And I'm Steve Kathan, CBS News.
And now, more of the best oldies on the radio with Carroll Buckley.
Classic case of neurotic narcissism and a first-class smarty pants.
AM 1230 KXO.